I have made 24 Ruby play buttons for various YouTube channels, and here they all are. So today I'm going to go over each of these designs and explain why I made these, because there are like 35 YouTube channels with over 50 million subscribers, so there should be 50 million awards, right? Well, there isn't. There's only 4. PewDiePie, T-Series, Conzilla, and Pinkfong got a 50 million Ruby play button, while the other channels didn't. So I decided to make a Ruby play button for each of these channels. I've already made an award for a lot of these channels in the past, including Dude Perfect, Cocomelon, Set India, T-Series, WWE, Z Music Company, Justin Bieber, Conzilla, 5 Minute Crafts, and Mr. Beast. He didn't even get a play button. Like, what the heck? I also made one for myself, just for fun. But so many YouTube channels have hit 50 million subscribers since I started to do this that I definitely lost track, and it was very hard to make new play buttons. So yesterday I was like, hey, I gotta make a bunch of play buttons, so here they all are. The new 50 million custom awards. So yeah, I should point out that all of these are custom awards made for a channel. Like PewDiePie's is the shape of his logo, and he called it the Ruby play button, but all the other awards don't look like a Ruby, so it's really the custom play button. And that's what you'll notice with all of my designs. They are custom to each channel that has hit 50 million. So for example, let's start with like Eminem. This is the award I made for him. The idea was for this, as well as for basically all the play buttons, is to take the base of the T-Series play button, because I find it just worked. It's like a diamond play button laying down on its side. It looks good. So for Eminem, searching up what his logo is, it turns out he has a backwards E that's used a lot, so I used a backwards E. And then to hold up the E, I decided to take 2 microphones and put them sort of crisscrossing so that it's holding it up. I chose these because he's a rapper and he uses microphones a lot when he raps, you know. And then I finish it off with a little bit of texturing, turning it like a sort of chrome silver. And this is what we end up with. A very nice looking silver Ruby play button. It looks really cool, I think. This is one of my favorites that I did. So yeah, Eminem has a 50 million play button now, according to me, but there's so many other channels that we gotta go through, so let's take a look at the other 23. I'm gonna go with Marshmello next. He's also another artist on YouTube, very popular. And the main defining thing about him is the helmet that he wears is this marshmallow with like X eyes. And I experimented a bunch with like X's holding up the marshmallow logo, but I felt like it was just too weird. So I used this sort of T-Series Ruby play button triangle piece to prop up the marshmallow and then turn it sort of like a crystallized marshmallow, if that makes sense. And this is what it looks like. It's all right to me, you know, it's pretty good. It's definitely what his play button should look like, you know? So I think that this one works. Now you'll notice there's sort of like 3 groups of people that I'm making these awards for. One is artists, another is companies and brands, and then the other is kids channels. And that's like the only people that have 50 million awards. It's kind of crazy. So I'm gonna start with a lesser known one. This is Age Tack. I don't know if that's right. Basically, it's a news channel in India. And so for them, I took their logo and decided, hey, I'm just gonna slap this onto a Ruby play button because their logo looks like it would fit on a play button to begin with. And so just pretty much putting it over the original T-Series play button and, you know, messing with textures, it looks all right like this. So here is the AAJ Tack play button. Okay. Next up, we got Ariana Grande. So I searched up Ariana Grande logo, and all that came up was this sort of like bunny ears mask. So I was like, okay, this is, I think she wore it for something or something like that. So I'm gonna put that on a play button. So I took the T-Series play button and put sort of the YouTube logo on it. I really like the look of that as a base for like any award. It looks good. It kind of reminds me of Blackpink's weird play button that's not a Ruby play button. So I decided to put the bunny mask over top of the play button, and you know, I had to just adjust it a little bit and then turn the play button pink. A lot of her branding and merch and stuff has sort of like this very light pink, so that's what I used for the award. And then I textured some of the mask and stuff, and I think it looks pretty good. Here is Ariana Grande's Ruby play button. It's obviously not a Ruby, but it's a habit to say Ruby play button, okay? Anyway, the next sort of music group we're gonna cover is Blackpink. So Blackpink is this huge K-pop group, and they don't have a Ruby play button, except they have this sort of other award that is similar to a Ruby play button, but isn't actually a Ruby play button. It's very confusing. It was given to them around 50 million, but it doesn't count. So making theirs, I decided, okay, what is there about Blackpink? They don't really have a logo. All I know is black and pink. So I'm deciding to turn a play button just like sort of Ariana Grande's, right? But taking off the mask and turning it just black and pink. There's no custom play button that's just all completely black, so I think that would look really cool. And of course you gotta add sort of like a pink hue to it. So it's a very dark looking award, which looks really cool to me, and I think that this works for them. And so here is the final one. I really like how it's glowing pink around the edges. I think that would look cool. But Blackpink isn't the only K-pop group on YouTube that has 50 million. The other one is BTS. So I didn't exactly know what to do for BTS, so I took the main YouTube logo as the play button, you know, because most play buttons have a YouTube logo. But to hold up the play button, apparently they have a logo. So these two weird just like lines is the BTS logo, so that works. But it looked kind of plain, so I decided to add something about them. And they had that sort of butter video thing going on YouTube, so I put the butter heart in the stand, and I turned it yellow. So this is the final product. It doesn't look the best. It is kind of weird with all the colors, especially just the random yellow, but it's fine. Okay, it works. Anyway, the next channel we're gonna cover is Choo Choo TV. Basically, they're just like they're like Cocomelon, okay? They're another nursery rhymes channel on YouTube for kids. So I decided to take their logo, which is basically just a big TV, and I took out the middle piece because we're gonna add a ruby inside of the TV. And I basically turned the entire award orange because of their logo. I put a YouTube play button inside of the TV and then did some texturing, and this is the final award. This is one of my favorites that I've made. I know it's for a kids channel, but it's kind of cool that it's a TV with a YouTube logo inside of it. I think it really works, especially for this channel, and it would be really cool to see this in real life. Dang, we're not even halfway through. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to edit this. So the next channel I'm covering is called Colors TV, and this is just like another TV network in India. Now this is their logo. It looks sort of like a leaf, so I decided, hey, I'll just take the T-Series play button, cut it in half, and put the leaf on it. And then, you know, added some texturing, playing around with some of their colors, which is a really nice gradient of purple and orange. And this is the final design. It's very simple, you know, has the YouTube logo in it, but I really like the colors, like it pops. I think this is a really cool design for it, and I really like this one. Anyway, the next channel I made a play button for is Ed Sheeran. He's another artist on YouTube, and he always carries around a freaking guitar. So I decided, hey, let's just give him a guitar YouTube award, you know, because it doesn't really have a logo. So I took the T-Series base. This is such a great award to use as a base for play buttons, and I put a guitar on top, and I just made I added colors and texture, and then I decided to add Ed Sheeran's initials on the guitar, just sort of embedded in there, and this is the final award. It isn't the best, but it works. You know, the color scheme is based off of his current channel art. It just works, okay? The next channel is El Reno Infantil. I don't know what country this is. I think that's Spanish, but it's just another kids channel, I suppose, in Spanish, okay? And for them, I did not know what to do. So in their channel banner, they sort of have these stars, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take the T-Series base and texturize a star and put the play button inside of the star, and this is the final product. It's made of their sort of channel banner colors of blue and purple, and it does look very weird, but I think it works with their colors and sort of weird branding. It's a kids channel, so I guess it's whatever. Not the best, but not the worst. The next channel is Gold Mines. They're another sort of TV network in India. There's a lot of TV networks with a lot of subscribers. Now in Gold Mines branding, they have a lot of film reels, so I was like, okay, I of course have to make a play button with film reels, right? So I took the T-Series base and made basically just the film reel hold up the YouTube play button, and then turned everything gold because, you know, their channel colors are very gold. So it is a very bright play button. It has stuff about them in it, and it's very gold, so I think it works for them, you know? I think they'd be happy to receive something like this. The next channel is Hybe Labels. Now this is a record company, so it is basically another brand, and I didn't know what to do with this. So I took the T-Series base and added a record label on it, you know, because they're a record label company. But I do think it's kind of interesting having a play button with a record label just slapped on top, and then I added their company logo inside of the record and turned the base like sort of yellow, which is their colors, and of course added some texturing on the record, and this is what the play button looks like. It doesn't look the best, but you know, that's what they get for choosing yellow as a color, right? The next channel is Kids Diana Show. So this is a kids channel on YouTube, and their main logo is a flower with a D in it. So I decided to take the flower, make it 3D, and put it onto a T-Series logo. And then just made it pink, which is their colors. And I shrunk down the D a little bit, and so this is what the play button looks like. It's very similar to the other play button with the star. Instead, this one's a flower. At least they had a logo to work with, so this one actually makes sense for the channel, and very much reminds me of PewDiePie's play button, where it's a 3D logo, you know? The next channel is Like Nastya. So this channel is also a kids channel with another kid as the star, and they don't really have a logo. They have stars on their channel banner, so I took one of their stars, put it on the play button base, added a YouTube triangle inside of it, and then bam, this is the final product. It's blue, because they have a lot of blue on their channel, and yeah, it looks like the other kids channels we covered. Like, it's pretty much the same design. Now then, the next YouTube channel is Movie Clips. Basically, this channel just posts movie clips to YouTube. I don't know why it exists, but it exists. Now, on Movie Clips channel, they have on their banner celebrating 50 million subscribers, and they have a Ruby. So they know about the Ruby play button, and they feel like they deserve it, I assume, right? So I decided, hey, let's give them a Ruby play button. So I took the T-Series play button, turned it white, and then put a nice huge Ruby on top of it, which would kind of be like a YouTube play button, right? And then Movie Clips has this sort of like scissor film reel logo, which I guess makes sense with their name, you know, Movie Clips. And I put that right inside of the Ruby, and I think it looks really cool. I really like this design. It's a Ruby, an actual Ruby play button, with their logo embedded. I think it fits very nicely. Anyways, next is Pinkfong. So Pinkfong already has a 50 million award made by YouTube, but it's kind of ugly to me, so I decided, hey, I'll just make one myself. Fine, I'll do it myself. So a very prominent character on their channel is this sort of weird fox looking thing. So I took the fox and I took the shark, because they made Baby Shark the most viewed video on YouTube. And I took the T-Series base, added a crap ton of textures, and I made this. This is the final product. The colors are way off. It's not their colors at all, but I accidentally stumbled upon using those colors, and I like it way too much to change it. So this is the play button that I would give them. You know, it has their logos and branding, and looks way better to me than what YouTube came up with. So I like this one. So the next channel is Shemaro Filmy Gani, maybe that's how you say it. This channel appears to be another music company in India, and their logo is very colorful. So I really wanted to bring that into the play button. So I took their award, I played around with maybe their award, sort of similar to being a triangle as the play button triangle, but it didn't work. So I took a bunch of triangles to hold up the main YouTube play button and just turned it into a normal play button, and I really like it. This is what it looks like. Has some nice texture, has a bunch of triangles in their colors holding up an epic YouTube play button. It looks very colorful and matches their channel. Alright, so the next channel is Sony Music India. Why are there so many music companies in India? So Sony Music India has this weird looking logo that's sort of like a half, I don't even know, half donut. And so I decided, hey, I'm gonna take my Z Music Company play button and play around with it a little bit. So I kept the Z Music Company music notes holding up the main play button, but I turned the play button into what sort of looks like a broken YouTube play button. It looks really cool. Like, their logo is holding up a 3D triangle, which would be, you know, the YouTube play button. And so here's the final product. Lots of colors and texture, and it looks very odd, but, you know, it's their logo, so it works and fits. Alright, so the next channel is Sony SAB, which is another channel in India about television, okay? And for their play button, what is there to even make about it? So I took their logo, made it a 3D box, and put it on top of the T-Series play button, and, you know, made it sort of crystal looking in their colors. And so this is what it looks like. It's definitely not the best, but what could I have done for this company, you know? So there you go, Sony. Alright, the next channel is Tips Official. I believe they're another friggin' record label music company in India. I hope I have that right. So their logo sort of has like a record in it. So I decided, hey, let's take the record play button and just put a white record on it. I did put the black lines like in their logo, and then in the center I put the Tips logo, and then turned it all white, added some texture, and this is what it looks like. Like, it's pretty good. It is better than the yellow version of this, right? But it works. Alright, so the next channel is T-Series Bakdi Sagar. Okay, Yes, I apologize that I'm not saying these words correctly. I don't know how to say them, okay? Now for this channel, it's just another T-Series owned channel. So T-Series music company in India, what the heck am I supposed to do? T-Series already has a play button, so I took the play button and did the same thing for that other Sony channel, and it does look better. You know, it has their huge logo on the play button, looks sort of crystal looking. I think it looks way nicer than the other version I made, so at least there's that. Alright, so the next channel is Vlad and Nikki. This is a kids channel with 2 kids as the star, and in their channel banner there are 2 kids. So I decided, hey, let's make a play button with 2 3D looking stick figure kids. So this play button basically just has these kids on the T-Series base holding up the YouTube logo. I added some textures and messed around with the colors, and it looks pretty nice. I think they would be happy to receive something like this. It has Vlad and Nikki on the play button, you know, so it works. The next channel is Wave Music, another music company in India. Holy crap. So Wave Music, I decided, hey, they got wave in their name, so I took an ocean wave. Kinda innovative, right? I added an ocean wave to hold up the play button, and I put their logo on the main YouTube play button, and this is the final product. Not the best looking one, especially with the blue on red, but you know, it has a wave on it, it has their logo, it suits them. Now the final YouTube channel I made a 50 million award for is ZTV. So ZTV is another TV company in India. Big surprise, right? But this might ring a bell. Z Music Company is also a music company in India, and I already made a play button for them in a different video. So this is the play button I made last time, so I was like, hey, let's just turn this orange because the music company was red and the TV company's orange. And it would be cool for them to have the same design play button, just in different colors. I think that would be kind of neat. So I took the play button and just messed around with the colors and textures and crap, and this is it. It's basically just an orange version, but it works pretty well, you know? So yeah, I made 24 YouTube play buttons all yesterday. It took the whole day, and that is what I would do if I was managing the 50 million play buttons for YouTube. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't make them anymore, so these 24 play buttons will never get produced. Feels bad, man. But yeah, I just realized I made a play button for every single channel with 50 million except for PewDiePie. And that's kind of funny considering I've made so many videos on PewDiePie on my channel. That's the one video I've not made about him. What the heck? The reason why I didn't is because we were always basing the play buttons off of his original one because he was the first to have it, right? So that's kind of weird. Maybe I'll make one for him. So if you want to see something like that, or if you enjoyed this video and want to see more play button videos like this, click subscribe. This took forever to make. Thank you for watching. And of course, fly on.